Right, in the second part of the activity that I've asked you to do for IL this week, which was exercise 3 here, fill in the gaps with the correct prepositions, then translate the sentences. The first one is a little more tricky than the others, which is a little bit problematic because that's going to mean to say that it's going to throw you a little bit. Now, the first thing you need to know is that by reading up here, as we read through about verbs followed by an infinitive, if you look in this bottom section, it says some verbs which are followed by an infinitive in English take a or de in front of the infinitive in French, and there's no other way but to learn them. And sometimes they don't mean anything, and sometimes they mean different things. So, for example, essayer de faire quelque chose would be to try doing something. This de doesn't mean of in that sense, which is what it would normally mean. So if we drop down to this activity, these are the examples that have been given. So apprendre à, décider de, réussir à, refuser de, commencer à, essayer de, inviter à, and oublier de. And if we look down here on exercise 3, you'll notice that the majority of these words that come before the gaps are those verbs with prepositions that we just looked at above. The first one here, though, je rêve, if you look above, isn't in the list. So rêver, which is to dream, isn't in the list. So we need to try and find out whether or not it's de or a. Now this isn't easy, which is why I'm going to show you how to do this one. So I've got my word reference open here, and I've typed in rêver, which is the French verb to dream. And if I look down there, it tells me that it means to dream. But where I'd need to look for the whole thing, i.e. whereabouts it's going to be, is here. Rêver, rêver de. So it tells me that that means to dream. Literally of. And again, problematically, you can see below that there's a rêver à, which is to think about. Well, the one that we need here, if we think about what it is that it means. So, je rêve something apprendre faire du ski. Could be I'm thinking of, but I'm going to take it as being that I dream of learning how to go skiing. So what we then need is this one here where it says rêver de. Okay. Now I've got this open here where I'll try to do this, or I've misspelled that. Let's take that back. So je rêve apprendre. So we know that it's going to be de. So if I just type that in there, that's what it's going to be. But if we look here, hopefully you will have noticed that this starts with an A, this ends with an E. So what we need to do, as we would normally do in cases like this, is to take those closer together and put an apostrophe in there instead, like that. So je rêve d'apprendre. Then we need to find out whether or not apprendre needs a or de before I put it into this gap here. So let's have a quick look. Is apprendre on our list? Yes, it is, and it says a. So all I need to do is go here, and I need to insert an a with a downwards accent on it, like so. So je rêve d'apprendre à faire du ski is your answer. The next one here, if I just drop this down very quickly, says j'ai décidé gagner de l'argent. If I look above, it doesn't give me the word exactly, if I can try and get that all into shot. So there, j'ai décidé. If we look here, this is the past participle. You remember with the past participle, ER verbs drop the ER, add E accent, which leads you to this word here, décider. And it says décider de is to decide to. So if I go back here, this is going to be de again. And that's what you need to do with that activity. The rest are all relatively straightforward. Okay?